Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Welcome. Welcome to another week with Kingdom Builders Credit Repair and Michelle Green. We are so excited that you are here. Thank you for joining us. We are super excited to get into today's message. Listen, we are a little bit late coming in, but we want to thank you guys for your patience because we have started a new time. If this is your first time watching, welcome. Come on in the room. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and that you like and share and comment. We want to hear from you. What are your questions? What are your concerns as it relates to credit? So we want to make sure that we are answering those questions on this live. That's right. You can participate with us. That's right. We want you to engage with us here on the KBCR TV show and also the KBCR podcast. Listen, you can find us pretty much everywhere at Kingdom Builders Credit Repair. That's right. We are on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. We're everywhere. So make sure that you engage with us. Let us know who you are and how you found out about us. If you were referred to us by a friend, a family member, or if you just found us online. Listen, we want to know where you are coming from. We want to know where you are and how we can be of assistance to you. So listen, if this is your first time watching, again, my name is Michelle Green and I'm the founder of Kingdom Builders Credit Repair. We have a show that brings to you every Friday on credit and financial tips. That's right. What we do is we talk about the things as it relates to credit, as it relates to finances. And today is no different. We are going to dive into the subject matter of security freezes and fraud alerts. We are going to talk about what is the difference, and we are going to talk about why or which one do you need, or do you need both? So before we get into every week's lesson, we like to give a shout out to our streaming services, which is CTR Media Network. Hey, CTR Media in the house. CTR Media Network is streaming over 3.6 billion viewers every single day, and they are in over 175 countries in the world. That's right. We're not talking about just in the United States of America. We're talking about all over the world. So we are super excited to make sure that we are connected and collaborating always with CTR Media Network. Shout out to Dr. Tina and Curtis Ramsey. Yes, 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 yes. And also, we would like to always, every time we come on live, we want to make sure that you guys know what is credit, because we know that not everybody knows and understands what credit is. So we want to let you know that credit is your ability to be able to buy something when you don't have enough money for it. So how do you buy it? You have to engage with some sort of a financial institution. So a bank or a credit union or some type of financial institution that is willing to lend you the money. That is how we engage with credit. That is how we build up our credit reports. That's how we build up our credit scores. And that is how the whole thing begins. It begins right there with the financial institution. Now, if you don't have enough money, if you're trying to purchase a vehicle, if you're trying to purchase maybe a personal loan of some sort, maybe you are trying to engage in, I don't know, maybe purchase a house. So whatever it is that you are trying to do, what we want to understand about that is you have the ability to go and borrow the money. And once you borrow the money, guess what? You have the ability to be able to get it and place it on credit. So that process of putting it on credit is going to be based on your reputation. How much do you owe in debt? Have you already established any lines of credit? If this is your first time engaging into a creditor, what is your basic profile reputation? What does that look like? Do you actually have a good reputation? Have you built up anything on paper? In other words, in order for the financial institution to want to approve you. So as it relates to finances, as it relates to credit, whenever you buy something on credit, you have to know and understand that you have to make sure that you are applying 5 different components. The first component, of course, like I just said, is your reputation. Then we look at how much is your total outstanding debt. So outstanding debt really engages about 30, 20. I would say about 30 to 35% of the issues around what makes up your credit score. So if you're concerned about being able to get something else with credit, you have to know that 35% is going to be based on how much credit do you owe right now. And then they look at how well will you pay them back. So as a lender, as a creditor, as someone that is a financial institution that's going to lend you credit, they are going to look at, did you actually pay them back under the terms and conditions that you started out with? So we want to make sure that as we go through the credit equation, as we go through the credit cycle of establishing new credit lines, we got to make sure that we are paying people back. Okay, that is a significant thing that we have to do as it relates to us being able to have a good credit score. And also, as it relates to credit, when we are establishing new credit, as we are obtaining that vehicle, we are obtaining that new house, we are obtaining a personal loan or even a student loan for our education purposes. Listen, what we have to understand is that we also need to make sure that our history of credit is good. So, what is the history of the people who you have already paid in the past? What is the history of how well you paid them back? Did you pay them back over the exact terms? Did you pay them back over a period of 2 years or longer? Did you pay them back in a shorter period of time than what they financed you for? So all of these things take the equation of the credit score. And we want you to have much success. So don't just discard this information. Make sure that you take this information seriously and that you apply it to your finances. Another thing that they look at is the type of credit that you have. So, do you have a vehicle loan? Do you have a mortgage? Do you have personal loans? A lot of them. Or do you have credit card debt? Do you have department store debt? Do you have furniture? What are the types of debt that appear on your credit? And if they are new accounts, the type of credit will help to improve your credit score. Now, when it relates to the fact that we are looking at the last component of what makes up credit, we're looking at not just the new credit, but the types of credit really boost up the equation of diversity. So we want the diversity on our credit reports of what it is that we are actually obtaining as far as the credit score. So when it relates to credit, when it relates to us starting out and trying to build up our credit score, we have to understand that there are several components to the equation. We cannot just decide that we are going to jump into this mindset that we're going to just go and get whatever we need, and every lender or creditor is just going to hand us a buttload of money and we're going to be fine and dandy. It doesn't work that way. So we not have to know how to play the credit game in order for us to be able to win every single time with our credit and with our finances. Okay. All right. So now that we got that out of the way, the other thing that we want to do is we want to understand when it relates to credit itself, why do we need a security freeze and why do we need a fraud alert? What is the reason behind us establishing a fraud alert in the first place? And what is the reason behind us establishing possibly a security freeze? Well, first of all, we need to define both of them so that we can understand the purpose of us needing either of them. So, why do we need them in the first place? These are security measures that are taken for those of us who have been fraudulently taken advantage of by a scammer, by someone who has stolen our identity, by somebody who has done us wrong, maybe even a family member or a friend, because it just happens, right? Okay, so when it relates to what we need to do in the equation of having a family member, friend, or a scam artist, or just someone just stealing our identity outright that we don't even know, we have to understand that there are measures that we can take in order to protect ourselves. So the measures that we can take to protect ourselves are going to start with that we can go and set up a fraud alert with the credit bureaus, with the Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion credit bureaus. We can actually request the bureaus to place a fraud alert on our credit reports. And sometimes in the equation where maybe a large organization that you were a part of, that they had your information, your name, your address, your social, your date of birth, or maybe even your driver's license. In that scenario, if someone had your personal information and it was exposed by a major organization, then that organization could even call the bureaus and have every person set up to have a fraud alert to protect their credit, or in other words, to alert the individual of every time somebody is doing some type of activity on their credit reports, you will be alerted. You, the individual, can do it, or a organization can do it. So as it pertains to a fraud alert, what we have to understand about a fraud alert is that a fraud alert is only going to alert us after something has taken place. So when it relates to the fact that we have someone that has already stolen our identity, and in stealing our identity, they have already tried to add some new line of credit to our credit reports. They have already possibly taken advantage of our debit card, our credit card, or they have taken advantage of something that we already own on our credit. What happens is that we are going to have that fraud alert then alert us in the moment that it happens. So a fraud alert only is going to tell us what's happened after it has taken place. It is not a precautionary measure. It is a measure that is taken after someone has done the damage. So I want us to be very clear on understand that this is not something that happens before someone gets us with identity theft. This is not something that happens before. This is something that occurs after we have established that someone has stolen our identity. So if you're dealing with a scam artist, if you're dealing with someone that, is trying to take on your credit, or trying to add something to your credit report, or trying to do something as it relates to your credit, where they're going to add an account, then that means that you will not be alerted until after it has happened. So you will not be alerted until after it has taken place. And so what we want to do is we want to understand that the fraud alert is not a precautionary measure. It is just something that will happen after the damage is done. So yes, you can place a fraud alert. And yes, a company can add a fraud alert to your credit report, but the fraud alert is only going to alert you after the damage has been done. Okay, so we want to understand that we're not just going to add a fraud alert to our credit if we're trying to secure that no one is going to bring harm to our credit. Now, I do want to just interject here to let you know that there are security measures that you can take through a company that we recommend called LifeLock. LifeLock is an organization that will take the precautionary measures to alert you as soon as somebody tries to steal your identity. As soon as somebody, a scam artist, tries to take your credit and make it theirs, they will alert you by asking if this is something that you have agreed to or if it's not. So when you establish an account with LifeLock, we highly recommend LifeLock to secure your credit so that before anything actually takes place, before they actually hit your credit with that new account that you did not approve of, that you don't even know how it was in a whole nother state, a whole nother country, and it appeared on your credit that you did something that you absolutely did not do, you had nothing to do with. Listen, that is the way that you can protect yourself with a precautionary measure. But the only way that you can do that with a precautionary measure is by doing LifeLock and allowing them to set up a service that is going to tell you right in the very moment, real time, of when someone is going to try to take your credit. So, the only time that you can actually establish that someone is doing something real time and you can stop them from doing it is when you are looking at the LifeLock system. So go over to lifelock.com, and usually they are running between, I would say, $10 to $20, $25 or something like that. And you can set that up as your precautionary measure to make sure that nobody is stealing your identity, or if they try to, it will stop them from moving forward. And that's the only way that you can establish the precautionary measure. Okay, so we got that out of the way. Now, when it comes to the fraud alert, like we said, the fraud alert is after it's done. The LifeLock system is as it's being done. And then we have the security freeze. So a security freeze is something that freezes everything. So when I say freeze, you remember back in the day when we used to play freeze tag and you would just pause everything, you would just stay still as a statue and you would just not move. You wouldn't even move your eyes. Sometimes you wouldn't even hold your breath. Well, when you think of a security freeze, you want to think of a freeze in that same manner. When you freeze your credit, you're freezing every opportunity for someone to get something on your credit, but you're also freezing your own ability to be able to establish new credit lines yourself. You are also stopping the opportunity that if someone is repairing your credit, such as Kingdom Builders Credit Repair, if you're in our program and you have a security freeze on your credit, then guess what? We don't even have the ability to override that security freeze. So if you have a security freeze is going to stop everything. Okay, it's going to stop everything. It's going to freeze everything. You won't be able to do any dispute investigations. You won't be able to necessarily pull your credit reports and even view the full report of what's there. And you won't be able to provide any activity as far as applying for credit. You won't be able to do it. And the people who have scammed you, that may have been trying to steal your identity continuously, they won't be able to do it, and you won't be able to do anything either. So, as it relates to a security freeze versus the fraud alert is the measures that you take afterwards, and then it will happen where they will alert you if something has taken place. The LifeLock is the only system that's going to alert you in real time, and the security freezes just shuts down every single thing that's pertaining to your credit, pertaining to your dispute investigations, pertaining to even if you yourself say, hey, I don't want to have my credit, anything that I am actually applying for, I don't want to have that stopped from being approved. But you don't have a say so when you put a security freeze on your credit. When you put a security freeze on your credit, you are stopping yourself. You're stopping any organization that may be trying to improve your credit through credit repair services. You're stopping all of the debt consolidation companies that may be trying to help you with consolidating your debt. There is absolutely nothing that you can do when there is a security freeze on your credit. Now, I know a lot of people think that securing their credit with the security freeze is the optimal thing to do in order for them to get things deleted from their credit. But let me tell you a little something about this. We've been doing credit for over 30 plus years. And in the 30 plus years, I can tell you that that is not the solution for credit repair. Because when you freeze it, the disputes don't even take. They don't even process. They're not even going through in the way that they should. So your putting a security freeze on your credit in hopes that things that you actually agreed to, the things that you actually contracted, the things that you actually approved of, and you actually had a real account. Not just talking about the people who have fraudulently applied for things and placed it on your credit, that's on your credit. But most of the time, when we look at someone wanting to put a security freeze on their credit, what they're trying to do is say that even the accounts that you actually approved of, that you are not willing to pay for those things. So let's put a security freeze on it. Let's do a police report, and let's go ahead and turn in some letters to the credit bureaus to say that this is not my debt. Well, when it pertains to that security freeze, it backfires every single time. I'm telling y'all, don't even try that route. Don't even go down that road, because that is not a solution for the accounts that you just want to get off your credit because you know it's yours. You just decided that you didn't want to pay the debt, and you are trying to take a shortcut to get the items taken off of your credit. So that's not a solution. That is a shortcut, and it's a shortcut that can really hurt you more than it can help you. I know that there are many ideas out there around how credit should be handled, how credit repair services are supposed to be taken care of for each individual. But I'm here to tell you that the game has not changed very much in 30 plus years. I've been in this industry for a long time, and I'm telling you right now, this is not something that has ever changed. I have never ever seen it change. No matter the technology, no matter the artificial intelligence, no matter what is happening in the current times that we live in, the security freeze is just not the solution for someone that is going to eventually apply for credit. Now, it does help in a scenario where there may be like a domestic violence situation and you're under the witness protection program. It may work in a situation where you just need to kind of like completely just not disclose of your whereabouts and not disclose of any activity of what's going on. If you're trying to, leave a town and you're under like the witness protection program or something of that nature, where you're trying to escape from a bad situation, and it is established under federal or state laws. So if you're in that type of scenario, and then yes, you want to move forward with that security freeze to shut down everything for a temporary period of time, but you still want to go back and lift the freeze at a later time, because you will still need credit eventually. Credit is something that is right up there with oxygen. So it's not as though you're not going to need credit at some point in time. Most of the time, when we have the security freezes on our credit, and someone has that security freeze, maybe they had it for 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, or a year, they have to lift the freeze in order for us to be able to help them. So we want you guys to know and understand. We want everyone to know and ever understand that, listen, if you want to secure your credit reports, if you want to make sure that you are going about things in the right manner, you have to make sure that you are establishing the LifeLock system, so that if someone does do anything to harm you, then you will be alerted right away for your credit. You will be alerted right away to make sure that no one is doing anything that you did not approve of. Okay. And then, secondly, you can always follow up with that fraud alert, so that the fraud alert will alert you after the damage has been done, but it will still kind of give you somewhat of a sense of security, because it's still going to let you know that, hey, something is going on that is not your normal procedure of how you manage your credit and how you manage your finances. And another thing, we just need to really just understand that The security freeze is just not for everybody. It's usually in a urgent matter or in a domestic violence matter or in some type of matter where someone just is trying to intentionally hide and they have secured everything with a governmental entity. They have secured it with the state, they've secured it with the federal, they have secured it with someone or something, some type of organization that is really trying to help them escape from a certain type of a situation. So I encourage you that if this is all confusing for you, if you don't fully understand any of the things that I have said, then you don't have to understand it because we understand it. So I need you today to go over to www.kingdombuilderscreditrepair.com. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the website, there is a link that says Let's Talk. I need you to click that button, Let's Talk, and I need you to contact us. Put in your name, put in your phone number, put in your email, and let's have a conversation. We will contact you shortly after, within 24 hours, to make sure that we help you with your particular scenario. See, the thing about credit is that most people are just searching the internet, they're looking on YouTube, they're searching the internet for all types of solutions, but every solution is not right for you. So I want you to understand that what we do here at Kingdom Builders Credit Repair, we help you with your particular situation. Your scenario is unique. Did you know that there isn't any two people in the whole wide world that have a credit report that is exactly the same? Not even spouses, not even relatives, parents, children. That nobody has the exact same credit report. So each one of us are unique. So I ask you, why would you go and search the internet for something that is generalized that may not have anything to do with your credit? So come on over to KBCR, get into our Kingdom Builders Credit Repair program today, and let's talk about your specific situation about your credit and about your finances today. We would love to help you to get your credit scores from wherever it is to an increase of over 200 points is usually our average turnaround. So we want to help you to get to those dreams and those goals of owning that house, of being able to get that luxury car that you wanted, or just to be able to manage those credit cards and those personal loans the way that they are supposed to, and help you to get out of debt and to maintain the small amount of debt that you need to have in order to have a good credit score. Listen, this is what we do. We've been doing this for a long time, and we are so excited and passionate about every time we're able to help any individual, family, friends. I mean, we just help everybody that we can, no matter where you come from, no matter where you live. We want to be able to help you or educate you on what is going on with your credit. So that's why we're here. Make sure that you have subscribed to this YouTube channel, Kingdom Builders Credit Repair, the KBCR TV show and podcast. You can listen to our podcast at KBCR Podcast. You can go to Spotify, you can go to Amazon Music, you can go to Apple Podcasts. We are always there. And listen, we want you guys to give us some feedback. Let us know how we're helping you. How are we changing your life as it relates to credit and finances? And listen, that's all we have for today. But we thank you guys for watching, and we hope that you have subscribed so that you'll never ever miss another episode of the KBCR TV show and podcast. So thank you guys so much, and we appreciate you very, very kindly. We truly appreciate everything that you have done to be here to support us, to be here to engage in our program, and to just, listen in every now and then, even if that's all you're doing. We thank you for that. So you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next Friday at our new time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great day and take care. Bye bye.